Welcome to Everything Hollywood podcast with my friend Larry Namer. Good to see you again, Larry.
Good to be here, Omar.
Well, there's a lot going on in the world of entertainment again, and this time we've been hearing so much about the Golden Globes this week. So why don't you fill us in a little bit on what's going on there?
Well, now there's a great backlash to the Globes and the way they've operated historically and stuff. My personal opinion, a little bit of an overreaction. I would have tried to fix it and reform it rather than just kick them out the door. But that's not the way it's going. I mean, basically, the networks have refused to carry it and stuff like that. And I think there was enough merit to it that they should try to make it, reform it and make it work in a proper fashion.
But how did it come to this? I mean, did this started a while back?
Yeah, well, it's been going on for a while. There's been criticism there that it's kind of this all-white thing, and it's not really paying attention to the diversity in the media and entertainment world, and and basically it's fallen on deaf ears. So I think the frustration really came when people began to realize we've been saying this to the Golden Globes people for years, but they have not done anything to take any positive steps there. So but again, I think I'm not sure that you needed to just cut it off entirely, as opposed to really take strong steps to reform it and reframe it.
But they're not cutting it off indefinitely. I mean, I think the network is saying they're not going to carry the show next year, right?
Well, they're saying they're not going to carry the show. They didn't say just next year. They just basically said they're not going to carry it, which was kind of indefinite, so you don't know.
Oh, okay. Because I was reading, I thought that they said if they put certain things, if they implement certain things, that they will be back the following year. That's what I thought.
That would be the logical thing, but I haven't heard it that way. So.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to report that we have a wonderful guest live in the studio today, Larry. Do you want to know who that is?
Is he alive?
He's certainly alive.
Sure. Who do we have?
Can I give you a hint?
Yeah.
He did a naked scene with another man.
Oh, that guy. That guy. Yeah. It's actually one of the funniest scenes ever in any film that I've ever seen.
I think that scene is one of the top, 50 funniest scenes of all time in the movies or something.
Yeah, it's hilarious, and you can watch it over and over again. It never ceases to astound you, how they actually filmed it and stuff. So yeah, why don't we talk to Ken and it's kind of his insight on how that really came to be the way it was, because it was just mind-boggling, hilarious.
Well, guys, we want to welcome Ken Davitian to the studio.
I don't hear any applause. I'm sorry. I'm used to waiting for applause.
Come on, guys.
All right. Ooh, a beatnik. I like that.
So
okay,
give us the backstory, Ken?
The backstory?
Yeah.
You know that thing about if it's cold, it shivers up? It's true. It's true. We were cold. It was cold. And the bar that he had? They had that big black bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't need that. He's a Jewish guy. He didn't need a big bar like that. Give me a break. So,
but those people were real. The people in the ballroom.
Everybody was real. Everybody was real, and nobody knew what was happening. We ran into in Dallas. We ran into a convention of engineers, and not one of them showed a reaction. And I looked at Sasha, and he looked. Okay, and we left. We walked out of that like we were fully dressed. We just simply walked out. And it was decided that we've got to do it at a place where there's black tie event and women. And so they picked a brokerage convention, and we told the brokerage convention that the Hyatt needs to tape it. We told the Hyatt that the brokerage people need to tape it. So we had, 4 or 5 cameras in there, and I almost got arrested. And I saw the film maybe 3 years ago, and I realized that it really was naked. I mean, I know I was naked, but I thought they did this, where you don't see anything and all that. And every adult that you say, I ran around naked, it's in a Fox movie, they go, yeah. Because they think if you can't say a bad word, how are they going to let you run around naked? Well, I don't know how it passed. But I was watching the film and I went, but at least my wife, her first reaction was, oh, thank God you didn't break a hip. And I thought, okay. And as for the Golden Globes, I really like the Golden Globes. I like the people that they're talking about. I like those people. When we did Borat, we did that thing at the hotel, and all the Golden Globe people were coming asking questions. After that, we had lunch, and I went in character. Sasha said, stay in character, and I didn't mind. So I go and I have lunch with these people. And they're talking about Armenia, they're talking about Turkey, they're talking about Europe. So I'm talking like this, I'm talking. 2 weeks later, we were at Jim Jimenopoulos' house for a party with the Golden Globe. And they were furious. Why? What's wrong? You lied to us. I said I stayed in character. They says, you know what? If you had told us you were an actor, we would have nominated you. So I liked them. But they voted Borat 2 as Best Picture, and you want to know why nobody wants to show it? I think that was a mistake. But I don't. That's a joke.
So speaking of Borat 2, I mean, Larry and I were talking earlier, and we were just wondering, because you were such a big part of the first one, and really, in our opinion, you really made that movie.
Thank you.
And then just wondering what really happened, the fact that you were not in Borat 2. So maybe you could tell us and talk about that a little bit.
In truth, they called me up, one of the producers. Again, I'd never spoken to Sasha. I have never had dinner with Sasha. I have never had nothing. For 13 years, I haven't seen the guy, except for one time where they asked me to do a favor and go to Jimmy Kimmel and do a thing for Sasha's movie. What was it called? Grimm's. Something
The Brother
Grimm.
Grimm's or something,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So I did it because they told my people that we will send Sasha to a place and we will make him write Borat 2 if you come. So I went. And I was wearing shorts and I was laying on a car, and Jimmy Kimmel called from upstairs and says, Ken, it'd be funnier if you were naked. We'll thing it out, but you be naked. So I did that, and it was all because there was going to be a Borat 2. So when they called me, Monica said, there is never going to be a Borat 2, and this is not Borat 2. It's a big movie, and there's a small part in it. And Sasha wants to do the two of you. And I said, well, how much are you offering me? And they offered me barely, I only got $60,000 for the first one. So let's just say they offered me almost double. And I was in London shooting for more money. Why would I? Listen, call my manager, talk to him. Don't tell me I'm not going to make the deal. But they called me. It was 11 o'clock at night in London. And it was very strange. And listen, I didn't do it, and this girl did it, and they won a Golden Globe. So more power to him.
Yeah. Now you saw the movie, right? You saw the second?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think?
You guys want to get me in trouble, don't
Of course we do.
Yeah, that's...
I thought it was the same movie. It had the same beats.
Yeah.
Go somewhere to learn how to eat, go somewhere to learn how to dress, go to some lake so you can wash your clothes, and do one wild, crazy scene. Ours was a naked fight. I don't know which one his was. I thought when she was doing the dancing, I didn't know what that was supposed to be. I thought it was a fox or something that had bitten her leg and was stuck on her leg, and that was the joke. And then the Rudy Giuliani thing, and I'm glad I didn't do the movie because I would have had a hard time doing that to Giuliani. I mean, the guy's 80 years old.
But
you
he
know.
did it. I mean, he did it. It wasn't. He wouldn't have done that with you, obviously.
Well, obviously, with me, he got naked and made me get naked, but it worked. So, and really, that was Larry Charles. I did not know who Ali G was, who Sasha was. My son the writer, says, this guy is directing a movie. Who? Larry Charles, he's from Seinfeld. Oh, come on, you got to get in. So that was my thing. I learned the stay in character stuff from Jim Carrey. I made a movie with him called Man on the Moon,
Oh yeah, sure.
and Milos Forman came out to all of us, and we were on the taxi set, and he said, "You funny guys, go in, make people laugh. I'm going to bring in studio audience." And he actually talks like that. Oh, rest his soul, he's passed away.
He passed away. Yeah.
So, I looked around, and I mean comic geniuses, and I said, "Come on!" And then I turned to Carrie, and I said, "Come on, go get your fireman's hat and a hose and make these people laugh." You could hear a pin drop, because I did something wrong. And I was told, he's in character. He's not going to come out of character. He's not going to... And he was really like that. I'm in character full time. I remember the table read. And it was a big table read. And the director was there, and all of the producers. And he came in a Cadillac, a 1964 Cadillac convertible, because I had one. He came with two blondes, and he was the alter ego. He was not Latka, he was the singer in a lounge thing.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Sure.
And
The heavyset guy, the guy with the mustache.
It's Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Andy Kaufman.
So
Yeah.
Andy Kaufman had this character that he would play.
The alter ego, yeah.
So I'm like, okay, now I know. And they said he's this way all the time. When he came to the table read, he had these two blondes with him, and he had the script. And he started throwing the script paper, and he was drinking out of a bottle, and we don't know if it was real. And he just threw the script away and got back in the limo with the two girls, got back in the Cadillac, and he drove away. And everybody was like, okay. And we kept going what we were going to do. So 3 days after I told him, get up there, I'm standing at the bleachers, and I turn around, and he's there. And I said, "So, you still working at Jerry's Deli?" And he turned to me, and it was like a light went off. "Yeah, I'm working there, because I don't think this taxi thing is going to make it. So I'm there every Monday night. You come in Monday, and I'll get you a sandwich." I said, "Okay, I'll be there Monday." And he started walking away, and he turned around, and he said, "Now you got it, kid."
Wow.
That's fun. So let me just get some background stories, Ken, because things I'm curious about. When did you realize you wanted to be in front of the camera and wanted to be in this business?
13.
What
13 years old.
what prompted you?
My grandmother was an Armenian actress. She'd go up and down the state and do Armenian plays. The acting troupe was called Mamulyan. Well, when Mrs. Mamulyan would come to our house, we'd stand in a line to make sure everything was proper, and she had to eat at the table, and it was a big deal, right? Well, I got older and found out that her son was Ruben Mamoulian, the director, and she was, I mean, jacket never on the shoulder. It was always on the shoulders. I mean, real big, classy lady. So I saw my grandmother doing this, and I thought, this is a lot better than what my father and grandfather do, which is picking up garbage. My grandmother's reading, somebody else didn't even write it, and she's reading it, and everybody's going, oh, how great, and these two guys are picking up garbage. I'd rather do this.
Yeah, I can see your point. So who would you say were your inspirations from the comedy world?
Jerry Lewis, when I was young.
Right. Yeah.
Jerry Lewis was, even Dean Martin was, both of their shows. I was very upset when Mork killed himself.
Oh yeah.
Because that was one of my comedy geniuses that I looked up to, and I thought, man, if I was like him, nothing would hurt me. And then I was hurt when he killed himself. But it was more Errol Flynn. I'm not. If I was skinny, I'd be a swashbuckler. I mean, I liked all those guys. And then playing poker at Norby Walters' house, I'm meeting all these guys.
Right.
So you've done so many movies. As a matter of fact, I think it was last month we were watching this movie with Bruce Willis. Something.
Yeah. John Goodman, Bruce Willis. Something in
Venice.
Venice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we see you were like, and my kids were watching too, and they're like, "Oh, that's Uncle Ken," you know. But you've done so many movies. So one of the first movies that you did that you had speaking part was that it was before Borat, correct?
Oh yeah, I did 120 different appearances before Borat. My kids always make fun of a movie I did called Tuesday Never Comes, because it never got shown, so it never came. And I did another one called Hell Goes to Frogtown 2, and I wore complete frog makeup except for my boots. You could tell it was me. I mean, they paid me $50. Who was the guy in Chips?
Eric Estrada.
Eric Estrada and me did Tuesday Never Comes, and they paid me $50, and they used my yard, my trucks, everything. But I'm telling you, just like you, if you like what you do, you love it. So I'd rather be doing that. Well, I was going to say than this, but I like doing this.
And of course, I've taken some acting lessons with Ken. People can go back and check that out on YouTube.
Yeah, how did that? Did you ever do that scary movie?
That's coming up. I'm ready to do that. So your lesson was amazing. I spent an hour with Ken, and he taught me, how to be a Golden Globe actor.
I just said the one thing that nobody ever does. Listen. That's the whole thing. That's the whole trick. You listen, you already know what the writer wrote for you to say. Now, if you listen and you just use what it is, the problem is young people, they don't listen. They learn the last word of what you're going to say, your last sentence. And if you don't say that last sentence, they're lost. And you don't have to remember what I say, just listen.
Right.
So did you have a request for Ken?
I'm not taking my clothes off. I don't care.
Reenact a scene that you wanted him to do before he came by. You said you wanted.
I don't think he's going to do it, but yeah, it was basically you would be Sasha and he would do that scene with you.
Okay, basically that's gone.
Yeah, that's gone. But I think the world has changed so much, Ken. Particularly during this pandemic and stuff like that. For you personally, how have your viewing habits changed during the pandemic, or have they stayed the same?
You know, it's funny. I went into the streaming places, and I spent a lot of time watching all that stuff. I mean, all this new stuff, but I watched West Wing all over again. I watched Sopranos. I'm on the 6th season, episode 4, so that's almost over. And then network is just coming back, and really I'm watching all my network shows, just tape them and watch them the next day. But it's, without the wife, it's devastating to even sit in the room and watch TV.
Yeah, stuff. Have you been watching any of the new stuff, the original stuff, like on Netflix or?
Some of it, and Netflix, apparently they canceled 20 different things this recently. I mean, it was their time. All of these streaming and all this stuff was a perfect situation with COVID. We had something to watch and stay home. It was difficult. It was a very difficult time. I just came back from London and Miami and stuff, and we did 3 pictures. We're going to finish number 4. So I'm supposed to be back in London on January the 5th. Well, because my wife passed away, I waited. I couldn't go back. I went back March the 6th, 2020. Mm-hmm. I got out of the car. They gave me a gun. They said, shoot her. I shot her, and they said, okay, get back. I said, what do you mean get back? Trump closed Europe. You got to go get you out of London, because if he closes London, you can't go home. So I did 1 shot, and DeSante I saved his life in the scene, and he didn't even know I was there. He turned and goes, what are you doing here? It was very real, because he didn't know I was there.
That's funny. So with all these new platforms out there, I mean, how has it changed, or maybe not, as you're being an actor? I mean, is there more work, less work?
No, as of all of this thing, there has been no work. Nothing. Now it's just starting, okay? We're doing a podcast now. We're a little late. We should have started this thing 6 months ago. The work is coming, but it's piece by piece. It's slow, and also, are you vaccinated? Are you going to stand in this line? You're going to stand in that line. We're going to let you in. We're not going to let you in. I'm vaccinated. Even when I was sick, I had COVID. December the 3rd. No symptoms at all. Nothing. And went through the whole thing, and all the shots, nothing. I don't know what's wrong with me or what's good with me. And now, like I said, my son wants to start a podcast at the Derby Room. Okay, but auditions were dead. Now they're coming back. Things are coming back. People are shooting. And the 3 movies in London haven't even come out. So I don't know.
Do you think that the theatrical business will stay the same, or do you think a lot of that kind of mid and lower, budget stuff moves more to the streaming platforms?
I think it's going to go to this streaming. I think the studios will still have their big pictures, but real acting is going to be done through independent film, and there's a lot of it. But if they can, it's so difficult. Independent film, you got to get everything, and then still you got to get somebody to watch it. So, but influencers are the new thing that have come out of this pandemic. And I have one, and she's teaching me. I did a TikTok yesterday. 1 TikTok, and I got 5,000 people.
Wow.
So, and she gets like 4 million or something. So I want to know how they do it. I think it's an interesting new twist to this entertainment, because they're not educated in theater. They're just interesting to watch. I mean, one guy, Quincy, just goes and have a hamburger. I like this hamburger. Okay, that's it.
What's the one thing that you haven't done that you would like to do in showbiz?
I would like to work with all of the people that just finished the Martin Scorsese's last film that was on, what was it called?
Irishman?
Irishman.
Yeah.
I would like to work with the cast and director of The Irishman because that's been my dream all the time. I love that, and I got close with playing the mob with Armand Desante because they sent me the script. This is you're going to be Ira. I don't want to be Ira. Let Larry be Ira. I want to be Armin. The director said no problem. So I became an Armenian character, and Stephen is Cuban. So none of us could be main men in the mob because we're not Italian.
Right.
But we were working with all of that, and then we killed somebody, and we go to England and hang around with our friend Armand Desante, which his name's Mr. Mayfair, and they come looking for us, and there's a lot of stuff, and it's fun. In one scene, I beat the heck out of a guy with a hammer. I practically killed him. I had blood splattering all over my face. And then I went to the club and sang and danced.
And when is that going to come out? When are we going to see that?
I don't know.
I've seen the trailer.
Yeah.
Looks
I got-
great. Yeah,
But-
I think you can go on YouTube and check out the trailer.
Yeah.
And the trailer looks
I
amazing.
did that.
'Cause I saw.
I did that too. I was looking for like dates. They told me first week of May. And I don't know. Maybe they're waiting. The theaters are coming back. AMC, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The movie theater. Okay, they're doing...
Well,
But I want to do a sitcom. That's been my goal all this time. So
So one of the things that I get a lot of questions from young actors and people that are coming up in the business, and I was talking to a few people and I told them that we're doing an interview with you today, and they wanted to know, they had some questions, but one of the things they wanted to know was like, what makes you a successful actor? I mean, what did you have to do to be where you are today? Like, if you
is
want
running around naked an answer?
That's one answer.
Well, that's one answer. Yes.
Listen, I was a theater arts major in college, and I know people come here from Connecticut and from the Ukraine and everywhere else because somebody told them, hey, that was really good. You should be an actor. And they come here and all their wishes and goals and everything are all narrowed down to, I'm going to make it. And if they're not trained, because when you influencers different. They're just having fun and everything. And I know it's a lot of work. I have this one female friend who's an influencer who has no time to do anything. So if I want to talk to her, I've got to do some kind of a TikTok or something. But if you're on a set and you don't know what you're doing, they're losing $100,000 an hour, if not more. So that's it. So I really think, and again, I think if you listen and you react, but it's not as easy.
So listen and react, but more of a practical.
If you've
advice.
never acted before,
I'm talking about people that are, taking acting lessons and they want to get into the business. What advice would you give them?
keep going. Don't take no for an answer unless, you have to look. If you really, really feel it. I was in high school. I was 18. There was a TV show called High Chaparral.
Oh, I remember that one.
The guy, the main guy, was an older American guy, and he married a woman from Mexico. And the guy that played his brother, I don't know his name, but I hate him from the bottom of my heart. He came to Garfield High School, and I was the head everything in the theater department, so I'm supposed to show him around. So I showed him around, I talked to him, I had a lot of fun, and we were walking into the auditorium, and he said, "So you want to be an actor, huh?" I said, "Yeah, I am an actor." And he said, "You know what? You're never gonna make it, kid.
Wow.
I'm 60-some years old, and that still bothers me. But I did it. I mean, it took a while. And if you really believe, because people will say no, and you got to keep going. The worst part of this whole business is rejection. It doesn't matter if you're got $400 million in the bank. They don't know that. You go in front of them, you read 2-3 lines, and they go, no, thank you. And it's a rejection. That's the worst part.
Johnny.
Yep.
Can you bring Mary and the kids inside, please? They're waiting outside.
No, they're not.
Oh,
They're there.
Hi.
come on in.
Hi, Mary.
Bring the kids inside so they can see the studio.
Okay. I don't want to interrupt.
Late?
How are you?
This is
You
my
already
wife,
did.
Mary.
Hello.
Hi.
Come
Hi.
inside, guy.
I got my first vaccine yesterday.
Really?
Oh, I'm more vaccinated.
Everybody's
I got 'em both.
vaccinated. Late, this is my wife, Mary.
So my brothers
And those are my
sisters in
kids.
Black community first.
Hello.
Hi, yo, John. Hi, Aaron.
Hi. Nice to meet you. Mary, Aria, and Aaron.
So, all right, let's wrap up.
Let's,
this one.
so you guys can hang out,
like
sir.
2 more minutes with Ken.
So let's Ken. So Ken, okay. So let's just.
John, tell us
It's
when you're
looking
ready.
good.
We're ready.
Sorry.
All right, so here's the question, Ken. Other than all this acting stuff, what is Ken passionate about? What do you feel strongly about? Non-acting,
Armenia.
okay?
I'm politically involved with good things for Armenia. I've been working with the government to open a studio, a big studio, not a, and I have 2 grandchildren. Other than that, you got me. I have 2 sons and 2 grandchildren, and I would have had, if I knew how good having grandchildren was, I never would have had kids.
You
So-
have any upcoming projects coming up?
I got
that we
Mr.
can-
Mayfair
Mr.
coming out,
Mayfair?
3 of them.
People can definitely check that out on the trailers on YouTube because I've seen it and it looks amazing. And you are in the trailers.
Yes, I am in the trailer.
You're in the
we
trailer.
did 3 movies, but actually Mayfair did 4. But the 4th one, I just had 1 shot in it. But it was a lot of fun, and I love working with Armand DeSante and Stephen Bauer. But the director was great. He wrote it, and he's directing it. And after the first week, he says, "Okay, throw the script away. Just you guys are better than what I wrote." And it was a lot of improv, but it was great. It was a good experience. And then came home and the wife died, so everything turned to crap. That's all.
Well, we're just really happy to have you, right, Larry? Having
Yeah,
Ken
no.
here in the studio, it's just been a great experience.
Now, are you doing this once a week?
Yeah?
We're doing this once a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Please
and
come
you
back.
line up guests?
We
and
do line up guests.
and
A lot.
we're live? I mean, not live, but we are on camera.
Yeah.
Are-
Yeah.
Oh,
You
you-
got every word you said, Ken.
Okay, no, I mean, I'm just at awe of looking at both of your heads. You know?
Thank you.
They shine. It's really good.
Hey,
Well-
we work on that. But yeah, quite interesting. For you go back, quite a while as I do. When you look at the size of these cameras that on this tripod here,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I remember this.
yeah, and these are probably 3 or 4 times as good as what those were.
You talking about the one that used to put a VHS inside the
Oh, even before.
Oh
that.
God, that too. But I have to tell you, technology-wise, that's one thing that they brought it to where if you have the equipment, you can make a movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Anyway,
people are doing
was,
this.
This was great, Ken. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. for
thank you,
coming and
Ken, very
joining us.
much. Hope
So
you
who's
can-
coming next week?
Hope you can come back.
I can come back. I live near here.